What's up, guys? This is your main man, Baby Sass. I want to ask what happens if we take away the power from the U.S. government? Like, we don't pay no taxes, we don't pay no Social Security. What do you think is going to happen? One, I bet you they'll become more responsible and less likely to, try to scam us out of tax money that's hello, everybody needs. Two, we need to throw these fucking immigrated or these illegals, we need to throw every one of them out. Because they don't do shit for our country besides bring it down. You think it's okay if a criminal comes over here and blows up an entire building? Or threatens people if they don't pay a fucking security deposit to you? No. What you need to do is get ICE off their ass, arrest these motherfuckers, give them full authority to arrest the motherfuckers, throw them in a prison cell for all I care, and send them right back to where their homeland is. Whether it's Venezuela or whatever fucking country you come from, you need to throw their asses out of the country. Because, from my perspective, the U.S. government is a piece of shit. Every part of it. Because our political people, dirty as hell. And the people who want to become political, but aren't dirty, end up becoming dirty. Wanna know why? Because they're so wanting it that no one gives a fuck about how they get it. Or how many people are getting hurt because they're acting like morons. I say, grow the fuck up. No one cares about your dirty little games. But if you're gonna steal from people, make us pay Iran for the fucking, not blowing us up? Well, guess what? Time to blow them the fuck up. Teach them what it means to fuck with the United States. To blackmail us. Teach us what will happen if they fucking blackmail. One, you're dead. Doesn't give a fuck. Everything just poof. You need to make it look like it never even existed. If not, you're a weak ass motherfucker who just needs to tear their motherfucking asses apart. That's what we need as a leader. Someone who doesn't give a fuck about the political power of other people. No. These people need terms. Every one of them, including the president. Only 2 terms per person. Not, just because I got a lot of money, I'm gonna keep on going and going and going and going. No. Make it so no president, no person with so much political power can stay in power more than 2 terms. Because what we're doing now is basically self-suicide. What rabbit hole we're going down is one that we cannot return from if something goes wrong. Now, what we can do is maybe get someone who's not politically aligned with Republican or whatever other country or whatever other, you're not Republican, you're not any of that. You need someone who can think outside the box, who's willing to tear people apart for the crimes they do while they're in power. You need those people who won't give a shit about what law and how they did it. You just tear them apart, piece by piece. And as for people who also deal with like people with disabilities, they need to be held to. This is a total separate matter, but I feel like they need to be held to a higher standard because you're dealing with people with disabilities who can't think for themselves. If those people with disabilities were to say, "Wow, look at what my fucking country did to me," I would be ashamed. I would have to be ashamed to say that the United States is a great country because, my God, it is the fucking shittiest goddamn country there is. Because you're not looking out for me. If anything, I say the people in power who are in power right now need to get their asses in prison. They need to be thrown in prison, lock away the key, and they never be seen from again. And I don't think any president should be able to overturn the 2-term limit for both politicians and the presidency. No one should ever be able to overturn the 2-term presidency. Does not matter if you're fucking political. Doesn't matter if you live in DC. Doesn't matter if you're the president. Doesn't matter. You should make it a total separate law that no one can overturn without the American people all having a vote in it. Should you or should you not? The American people should be able to say, hey, if I don't want to assist you in your fucking investigations, we shouldn't have the fear of going to jail or getting beat up or any of this bullshit going on. We shouldn't have teenagers who are 15, 16 on the fucking road because they don't know how to fucking drive safely and carefully. Because what's the number one death rate? A 16, 17-year-old get in a car, and next thing you know, they go, 100, 120 miles per hour down a fucking street, and then they end up flipping it? Yeah, that's real smart, huh? That's the smartest goddamn shit you could ever think of. You know what? I say you need to be 21. And what's the sense in the government saying, oh, so you get they need to do an overall haul of everything that is Social Security, because think of it this way. Social Security helps plenty of people who have disabilities, or they help the elderly get, their Social Security benefits that they work for. If you gotta be almost 70 years fucking old just to retire with full benefits, you're damn stupid. I don't care who you are, what you do, where you wanna, you're stupid. Because why am I paying Social Security for something I should already have? Why can't Social Security be updated? Because housing is your number one issue. Housing, they're saying, is, if you want a house, I'm going to say anywhere from $5,000 to $1,200 for renting. Just for a decent one. And they can go up for $1 million up if you're buying. Maybe less if you want just a 2-bedroom. Maybe a little bit less for the 2 bedrooms and a medium-sized backyard. But if you want a decent house, you're paying a whole lot of money. There is no one way or another. No, you're paying a shit ton of money for this bullcrap. What happens when a person says they don't want to pay that money? They'd rather live on the fucking street because they can't afford it. Because they can't afford the interest rates that come with it. What happens when someone with disabilities can't afford a fucking place to live. They go on the streets. You know why? Because the government is stupid. Stupid, I say, stupid. They can't fucking sit there and say, hey, what we're going to do for you is we're going to update our Social Security stuff so that you can afford your rent, so that you can afford your electricity. You can afford things without having the fear of being thrown out on the street. But no. Everybody gets that you're out. Because how much is rent for an apartment? $1,200 to $2,000. How much is it for a house? $2,000 to $6,000. How much is it to fucking buy a house? If you're lucky, you can find a great one. And this is if you're lucky. For only maybe $300,000. Or right, $300,000. Maybe up. Now, would you want to pay that much? Or would you like to pay the price that it is actually to build it? Which is a lot less if people just get off their asses, do what they gotta do, get these fucking illegals out of our country. Doesn't matter if they got fucking overpopulation in a prison cell because they shouldn't be here. Throw their asses right back over the... Use a catapult to throw their asses back over. Who cares? Their asses should have been over that fucking border a long time ago. You catapult their asses right back where they came from. You don't make it easy for them. No. You throw their asses out of a fucking plane without a parachute. You do what you gotta do. You don't fucking make it clean and easy and all good. And no, you tear their asses apart and you make it worse for them. You pepper spray them. You exert your authority over them. Don't be a little bitch. Be the person that they want to be. They want to act like gangsters. They want to shoot at you. Well, guess what? You might end up dead on U.S. soil and you're a Mexican. Hope you have a nice afterlife in the hell. And as for these Middle Eastern people, they need to go. People who don't have a fucking green card need to go. Whether you're Middle Eastern, non-American, American, it just depends. Another thing, if a Middle Eastern person comes on the U.S. soil, first thing you need to do is say, who are you? What do you want? And if they don't have their fucking green card, they don't have anything business to do, first thing you need to do is pull out a gun, because we all know how it goes in the Middle East. It's blow up everything, ask questions later, because they believe they're going to get 20 wives. No, you get death. Let me break it down to you. Your God is a fake. Every one of them. Fake as hell. Let me break down what your God states. He says if you go kill a bunch of people, you'll be rewarded in the afterlife. Well, let me give you a clear picture of what your reward is in your afterlife. 1, go down to hell. 2, get a pitchfork stuck up your ass because you're stupid enough to believe that bullshit. Because let's face it, it's no better than me saying, oh, in my religion, I get $50,000 and 50 wives and a big old mansion in heaven. No, you get shit. You know what you get? You get your ass tossed out onto the fucking ground. No one cares. That's what you get. Wanna know why? Because you killed a bunch of people. You know what you get when you kill a bunch of people? It ain't gonna be pretty. You might get the devil who sticks a fucking pitchfork up your ass every time you turn around because you deserve every inch of it. You deserve a lifetime of hell. Your God ain't gonna give you no fucking, oh, you were so good, so I'm gonna give you 20 wives. Yeah, sure. Whoever actually believes that is stupid. Just like if they believe in God. Whoever believes in God, you ain't getting nowhere in life. God is not real. God's only there just to give you that sliver that if you're so good and so gonna give him so much charity, you might get into heaven. No, that's not the case. Let me set this straight. God is not real. Jesus, your faith just got shattered. Wanna know why? Because name one miracle, and you can't quote it from the Bible, that you have seen with your own eyes, heard with your own ears, or even both. Name one thing online in the comments below that you believe that God is a part of. Because what I believe is that he ain't no more real than the boogeyman. He ain't no more real than the devil himself. And yet you like scaring children into thinking the devil's real. He's not. Wanna know what's real? Life. Life is real. Wanna know what's real? School. School is real. Math is real. Physics is real. Everything that we can see and touch and feel. And even you got your eyes, you got your ears, you got the senses. Those things that you can see, hear, and touch and feel, those are real. Not a bullshit entity who we say came from some unknown place, started up the human race by two people, and one of them decided to become a murderer, live forever. Where is he to this day? Because we don't see him. Where's his body? If the man was cursed to walk the earth forever, where the fuck is his body at? Where the fuck is he? Because I assure you on 2 occasions, the man's probably more likely dead. And everything we know about the Bible is fake. Wanna know why? And tell me if you agree or don't agree. I want to hear everyone's opinion. If the world started on just a man and a woman, how in the fuck did they start a fucking with only 2 children, and who in the fuck became their children? They only had 2 males that were born from between both of them. So are you saying that everything we know as a human race, oh, Adam and Eve, they had 2 sons, Abel and Cain. Where did the other fucking females come in at? Because I'm pretty sure they only had Abel and Cain, the other females never existed. Because if they were the first 2 humans, They're the only ones alive. And then humanity should have died out. Same thing goes for Abel and Cain. They should have died out ages ago. So everything we know is a lie. That's one truth. Now, who made the Bible? How do we know over the years and centuries and, all everything that we know about it? Only the Vatican can state if the Bible is true or not, because they have full authority over it. So what's stopping them from removing things that were put in and putting in new ones, that so that you keep on believing what's real and what's not, and how it should be and how it shouldn't be? I mean, what is actually stopping them from editing the goddamn Bible? They got the printer, they got the ink, and they most certainly have the books. I mean, if I wanted to keep someone's faith for over 1,000 years, that'd be my way. Edit the book a little bit. You know what? I got me a good book. People will pay what? Millions for them. I think it's time to go on a hunt for the original books. Ask the Vatican to release the original books on display. They need to show everyone that if what they are stating is true in those books, then maybe people can see a little bit more clearly. But until then, I say the Bible is fake. Everything is, your God is fake. Until I see proof of their gods, I say they're fake as hell. It's like India. India believes a guy who is basically half elephant, half man, is a fucking god. Hell no. A half elephant, half man, that's not even a man. That's not even a fucking deity. That's hell itself. That's the worst part of it. That's the worst thing you could ever want from it. That's a mistake written on walking on 2 feet. But you know what? Every religion has its faith. Every person has their own faith. I just say they're fake because they ain't got nothing against it. And on top of that, until someone can prove me wrong and say, here are the bones of these people, they did live, they did die, or they could present me the body of Abel or Cain, whoever the one's supposed to be living forever because he was cursed by God, bring it on, bitches. I'll prove you wrong every time, because no one's going to live over 10,000 years or better and think they can get away with it. Hell no. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Arrivederci. I don't care what fucking language it's in. No. No one can ever say that someone can live that long. And then, as for the ark. Okay, let's say you did get one of each animal. Let's say Noah did get one of each animal onto a fucking boat that is supposed to survive a flood. How the fuck did he get every one of those animals without even killing himself? There's no way an animal is just gonna walk up to you, get the boat, and you just sail off with them? No. And then there's the second part. Okay, How did they not get hungry and eat a fucking chicken? How did they not wipe out the fucking species? Because let's face it, they probably ate more than what people gave them credit for. And that's probably a fucking lie. Everything they fucking see and put in that Bible is probably a lie. Just like the fucking Middle Eastern. Allah's gonna fucking give you eternal life and all this bullshit. No. You don't get eternal life. You don't get 20 fucking married women. You don't get bullshit. All you get is pain and suffering. Especially if you survive. That's where your ass is gonna get more pain and suffering because they're gonna tear your ass apart next day. And they'll make sure you die painful. Not painless. Painful. Just blow up the motherfuckers. Make sure they don't exist no more.